Bandits, and welcome back to our beginner's guide to Elite Dangerous. As ever, we're on Xbox One, but other than the controller buttons, it should be suitable for any platform. If you're totally new to the game, it might make some sense to check out our first video on ships and systems. This entry will take us through spaceport, departure and docking, although we will be covering the basic controls of the game also. So, we have our ship and we feel we're ready to go. Having your own vessel is all well and good, but if we stay here we'll end up like Deep Space Nine, boldly going nowhere. There's a lot of information in the starport guide, but we're going to ignore that for now and concentrate on getting up and running. So, if you have pre-flight checks on in your functions menu, as soon as you click launch you'll be asked to run through these to make sure all parts of your ship are working. If you're new, it's also a good way of keeping yourself fresh with the controls. If you have the checks turned off, or once you complete them, you will either be inside a spaceport or in an exterior docking bay. Either way, once the ship is ready, we're going to push the right stick up slowly to give us some vertical thrust and take off. Once at a decent height from the dock, we can either go to functions on your right hand screen and select retract your landing gear, or just hold B and press directional down. If you're on an external dock you can pretty much just get up and go, but it's a little trickier if you're inside. Firstly, use the left stick left and right to align your horizon with the glowing blue exit gate. Once you've done this, click the left stick to change the left and right into yaw, similar to rudder controls in an aircraft. Now, we're going to ease forward using the right bumper to give us some thrust, and we can use the left stick to just aim our nose at the exit gate. Using the alternate rudder controls, this should be made a lot easier. Once you are aligned and almost through, we're going to switch back by clicking the left stick again, because once outside we'll need to rotate in order to match the rotation of the station. When we're through, throttle up to get away from the station a little way, and we'll turn around and prepare to get back inside in a moment. First, we're going to go over some basic ship controls. The left stick, as we've already seen, is used to push your ship's nose up or down. Moving it to the left and the right in standard controls will spin your ship accordingly, like so. Clicking the left stick to engage alternate controls will instead make this a yaw control, and pushing left or right will simply point your nose in that direction, albeit a little slowly. The right stick is mainly used for external panning thrusters. Pushing up or down will move in that direction, without the need to point your nose. Similarly, left and right will push the ship in the appropriate way. This can come in very handy when it's time to make our landing. Clicking the right stick lets us change the pilot's view. Doing this we can easily check out our consoles while in flight, or search for enemy ships or other events while we're flying. To throttle up and down, we use the left and right bumpers. If you have the engine power and feel a little extra speed is needed, tapping B will give a boost to get us started or even just speed us up. Holding that B button will give us options to utilise our ship's lights, landing gear or cargo scoop by pressing the directional buttons, and we can also engage silent running and enable or disable flight assist by using the shoulder buttons. Tapping the A button while you're not looking at one of your ship's screens will lock targets you're looking at. Holding A will give more options. This time, using the directional buttons will allow us to instantly target the next subsystem, ship, or even just the hostile ships. You can also press down to target the highest threat within sensor range. The bumpers in this menu will increase or decrease our sensor zoom. Tapping X will deploy all of our hardpoints. These are the weapons and scanners we'll be using, so X is pretty much a button for unholstering and holstering your armory. The context menu pops up again by holding X, and we can cycle fire groups using the bumpers. Using the directional buttons in this menu will move us instantly to our left or right screens if you don't wish to use free look, up to our comms menu, or simply bring up the sensor panel a little larger. Without any context menus or screens selected, the directional buttons will set ship priorities. You can divert power to systems by pressing left, engines by pressing up, or weapons by pressing right. Press multiple times to allocate more power to that area, but you'll be leaving other areas with a lot less, or even none at all. Pressing down will reset distribution to standard levels. Once we've deployed our hardpoints, the right and left triggers are used for primary and secondary fire, as you'd expect. There is one more option which we won't go over quite yet. Pressing Y will charge our frameshift drive to take us to Super Cruise, but we'll save that for a more in-depth Super Cruise tutorial coming later. For now, we'll start our manoeuvres back to the station. The first thing we need to do on our way back to dock is request clearance. This is not automatically granted. However, if you have no penalties currently, it might be declined just due to the station being busy. The best action is just to wait a moment and try again. To request clearance, look to your left menu. Navigate to contacts using the bumpers and select the station. Then, once selected, request docking clearance. Once you have the acceptance message, it's time to go inside. If it's an outer dock, it's a little easier, but we'll run through the full procedure anyway. If you have to enter a space station rather than just land on one, I find the easiest way is to first line up so you're at a 90-degree angle to the side of the station, with the blue gate we'll now refer to as the entry gate. Remember, you can use your right stick to thrust up, down, left and right without changing the way you're facing. Once you're at a 90-degree angle, you should be able to see the entry gate simply rotating, which is a lot easier than when it's rotating and moving around in relation to you. We'll get up to a decent speed now, and when we get closer we'll use the left stick for rotation, while using the right stick's left and right boosters to try and keep us pointed in the right direction. It's a lot trickier than when we were exiting, but at a slow speed you should be able to get inside without too much trouble. Once inside, or if you're on an external port, slow down and find your dock. Note here that your dock may not be the only one lit up. In the bottom of the screen, you should have a message telling you to proceed to a specific docking bay, and you should be able to see a number above each glowing area. If you hover over any other bay for too long, you will get a fine for being a right numpty. The first step is to get a bit closer to your dock by easing forward with your right bumper. Then, when we're a little closer and moving slowly, use the left stick as rotation, and we're going to align our horizon with that of the dock. Once we've done that, click the left stick, and we'll be using it to navigate just left and right. Move forward slowly and deploy your landing gear using the same process you used to retract.
Landing gear deployed.
Once we are close enough to the dock, the radar will change to a landing mode and will give you a target area. Use the left stick to nose left and right if you need to, but we'll mostly be using the right stick left and right here to align along one plane and very slowly with the thrusters to align the other. Once your ship is in the middle of the target, use the right stick down very slowly to land.
Docking successful. Engines
After you've received your welcome message, you'll be good to browse through the station's options before blasting off again. In our next video we'll cover station facilities and how to find them. Go forth, Captain, and go boldly. We've been Pixel Bandits, and you've been awesome. Thanks for watching.